Blutbaden, and now that this whole royal thing is going on, and with Rodriguez's character, the FBI, I feel like she might be some part of a resistance. Do you think, what kind of storyline would you like to see Monroe play in that kind of...
I think there's going to be, it's just going to be conflict. I think Monroe, I think I will be caught in the middle, because I'm in the middle. I'm in between, you know? I mean, I'm Wesen, and I love my family, and I love the history, some of it, but then there's this element to it that I disavow. And so I am an in-between person, you know? And so I think it will challenge me to deal with my heritage, I think, you know?
Will we see more of Monroe's history, like with his family, maybe any more Blutbaden coming out of the woodworks?
I'm sure there will be more Blutbaden, but I don't know if they will be necessarily of my family. We've only read... I mean,
you've seen your parents come into the picture,
I don't know if there will be more. I really don't know how they're going to take it. I just know that there is a kind of... there's kind of a Wesen rising situation.
Yeah. Would you like to see Monroe kind of maybe vogue out a little bit more in this season and be more action, or just kind of neutral?
I don't have an opinion about that, because again, I just let the scripts come to me. And if I feel like something is, if I get an idea, then I'll say something.
Okay.
Or if a script feels like awkward to me for whatever reason, I'll say something. But I don't think from the outside like that. I don't think like, what would I like to do, or what do I think would be a good storyline, because that's just sort of the writer's job.
Yeah.
And I kind of let them do that.
Yeah, just create. So the evolution of Rosalee, I mean, all the seasons that you've been on so far, there's been such a, it's a great progression. You haven't morphed like quickly. It's been a slow progression, which I absolutely love, that the way the writers have written it and the way you've portrayed it. So with Rosalee's obviously doing the spice shop, what more are we going to see from her? If we're going to see a different side of her this season, in season 5? Especially with all the knowledge she has with all the different potions and things like that. What were we going to see in season 5 from your character? Or what you would like to see?
Yeah, well, I think what I've been told, I haven't received, they haven't written the script yet, but I've been told that Rosalee's addictions, you know, Rosalee came to the scene with a past of addiction and being in and out of jail and really lost. I mean, I think Rosalee was the most talented in her family of apothecaries, but the most scared of her power. And I think what's been beautiful with the arc is that now Rosalee's like, she's one of the best apothecaries in the world, the best at what she does. You know, I think she'd be like top 4, you know, in the Wesen world, and I think she really knows that now and owns it. And you know, the shop is growing, and I think, you know, there's these really cute like Rosalee the businesswoman scenes coming up, where like she's like, you know, the growth, the financial growth of the spice shop is really, you know, fivefold. But I'm excited to kind of start bringing those skeletons out of the closet for her in regards to certain people from her past and substance abuse and how that looks like in the marriage. You know, I think whereas in this last season I saved Monroe from the Wesen line, I think Monroe is going to save Rosalee from her inner demons that are stuffed very, very, very far down deep. And but I think Monroe and Rosalee just like wish they could live in their little craftsman home and have no, like, I think every episode is like when Nick calls, they're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Can we just like
one day
watch some Netflix and like open it, you know, like why does all this keep happening? But that's not. But they're also the face of this sort of brave new world of a new kind of Wesen choices that modern Wesen are making, and they know that, and they're excited to, you know, be the face of that new revolution of sorts. So I think there's a lot of conflict for the couple.
Yeah. One of the things I love that the writers are doing with your character and Monroe, obviously the love story, is just so sweet. I just really love the love story between you guys. It progressed very nicely, and then it's organic. But I also love the loyalty that you have to your friends, like to Nick. Even though you guys are like, oh, I just wish we had one night. You guys are not. You're
all
quick
in for
to,
Nick.
yeah, you're quick
I mean,
to set, get up for your friends, and I really love that aspect about it. But you guys play it so well too. Like even though you can see like the frustration, you guys are just like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, because that's how real friendships are.
Yeah.
You're not going to approve everything your friend does, but you're there for them 100%, and that's.
But not a lot of shows and actors can actually pull that off as organically as you guys have been doing it.
Well, thank you. I mean, the writing is really good, and Silas and I, we have a lot of fun together, so it's easy. Yeah. when you got that as your setup. So.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Thank you guys. Thank you so
so
much.
much.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Easy for you.
Well, we're old vets of this now.
I know. Season 5, you're like, I got
It's
it.
weird.
Yeah.
It's weird how fast it goes by,
I know.
But yeah, it's we kind of know how to kind of preserve energy when we need to, and then kind of blow up and have fun, and because you can't be like a tilt the entire day, then you're gone.
So like Russell must have saved it for when he came.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Just like
that was-
recharging the battery and boom.
Yeah. So the evolution of your character these past 4 seasons, and then what happened to your character last season.
Sure.
Did you have any inclination about the 4th season and the way the Ripper character
no.
was going to come about?
No, and we don't normally. We're not privy to what's in the writers' heads, and I like that. I like it that way, to be honest with you. It forces you to just kind of be very spontaneous. You get a script 2 weeks before, you're like, oh my God, you're kidding me. All right, let me figure this out, and you stay on your feet as opposed to shows that have maybe 10 episode orders where they present the whole arc and you can prepare, which is also a wonderful way to go about it.
Yeah.
But we don't know. That's why we're not like being secretive. We literally don't know.
Yeah.
So I did not know about season 4. I knew there was going to be something. They said you're going to suffer somehow.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're going to pay the consequence for having been resurrected.
Oh, okay.
They didn't even know what that meant, but they knew something. So they brought the mom in, which was interesting. I didn't know I had a mom. And all of a sudden, there I am doing a number of episodes with her, and I love that because it changes the character drastically when all of a sudden, you've got a mom sitting there.
Yeah.
And then I think it kind of evolved into this storyline of Jack the Ripper. So that's kind of how we do it, episode to episode. They have an idea, they kind of want to send you in that direction, and then we'll find exactly what that means ultimately.
So for Renard, do you think he's maybe kind of glad that Juliet may not be around to tell that?
I think there's some relief.
Tell Nick that he had like a little trip.
But think about it. I mean, they share 2 women.
Yeah.
I've had a baby with the other one. I've had this with this one.
Yeah.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
It's not safe. Anywhere he goes, I'm like,
Well, is Nick coming?
is that a new lady in your life? What's her name? I know, it's kind of weird that way.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh my God.
But there probably is some relief because it was just havoc.
Yeah.
And,
That whole situation
But
with
it really is
Julia
more
was
about
crazy,
Nick. It really is more about I need him. He can't disappear. He can't fall apart. I need him.
Yeah.
So that's what's most important.
Do you mind?
Still good. I'm so happy.
I'm so glad.
We love the woo.
Aww.
Love the woo. I've been
Man.
seeing it since season 1, and I tweet it out every time, and I follow one of the support teams that you have.
Is it Team Sergeant Wu? She's
Yes.
really so good. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
Who are you? It's interesting that the teams
Yeah.
all came to Portland.
Yeah.
And they tweeted and they said, there's a team, whatever, Renard,
Yeah.
and they tweeted and they said, hey, we're going to get together for a brunch.
Team
Can
Trouble,
you join us?
Team
Yeah,
Wu,
and I
yeah.
said, yeah, I'm going to come join you guys for brunch. And they were amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's awesome of you too.
Well, I think it's people ask me if this ever gets old. It doesn't ever go. I mean, I think I feel like that you guys are what make us our show. the success of our show is you guys, you
Yeah.
know, and the whole Wu thing. It always still it surprises me, and I always get a real fuzzy feeling inside whenever I hear that. That never gets old, and I'm
Yeah.
always so appreciative that you guys like him, that you guys latch onto him. I like that.
Well, I'm so glad they finally brought you into the fold. I was like, please tell Wu. I was like, he needs to be part of the Scooby
It was like
Gang.
8 episodes of season 4. I was like, it was like stretch. Okay, episode 8.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. But it was, yeah, it's a whole new world.
So what would you like to see with Wu's character? Where would you like to see him go? I mean, obviously we want him to stay human.
Yeah.
I love that you're the human heart and moral compass of the Vesson crowd,
Yeah.
especially with Nick being the Grimm.
Yeah.
But you and Hank are kind of like the human.
I know, right?
Yeah. So where would you like to see Wu go in season 5? Like
First, I'd like a Wu Mans.
a Wu man. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Is there any particular Vesson that you want
Oh,
to
people
romance
ask
with?
me that, but you know it's hard to beat a Fuchsbau.
Yeah.
Because they're sexy and they are badass. That's pretty hot.
No, you don't want to be an Aswang.
No, definitely not that. Definitely not that.
So
but
a Wu Mans?
a Wu Mans, and what I love is this whole. As a cop, I was always on my game, trying to be the best that I could be. And now he's kind of that way with the Vesson knowledge. And so I want to be the one that pulls out the knowledge and just reels it off. I love that aspect of his character. You know, that he wants to be the best. And he does it in a very calm manner. He's just like, it's this and this and this and this and this. Why didn't you know that? You know? He will probably say, why didn't you know that?
Yeah.
And yeah, but you know, I guess I have to find a Wu-mance that kind of matches up with that sarcasm, with the with the Wu-casm.
Yeah. And then you were so devastated when the trailer got burned down because you had been in there like it was your personal
It was
library.
like, my God, I just found out.
Yeah, and I just
Are
discovered
you
all this
kidding me?
information. Yeah.
I was bringing fries in here, like this was my life. I can't tell you how many tweets I got that were like, you better not get some grease on those pages. And I was like, Wu would not get any grease on those pages at all. But that was, yeah, it's been an odd year. A lot of losses, you know, and it's, they ramped it up. They really ramped it up.
Yeah, season 4 was really, I think, emotionally charged.
Yeah.
But the drama amped up really big, especially with the Ripper storyline. Then obviously you dealing with Sergeant Renard as your boss, but then him being the Ripper.
Yeah.
You got really immersed this season, which I'm so thrilled about because, like I said, I've been woo all since season 1. Like seriously.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love you for that. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. When we shot that Jack the Ripper scene, I just have to tell you that the back seat of a cop car is really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It ain't cush back there.
I think it's designed to be that way.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
It's like plastic. It's like hard plastic. And so when they were like, when it turned, I would slip all the way to the side, and my face would be like on the cage like that. But it hurt. I was in handcuffs. It was like there was no acting involved. He was really good at being Jack the Ripper. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot more of that. I think it's just a big turmoil time for Nick.
Yeah.
You know, his life's changed. It's going to have to change, and we're going to have to be there and I'm glad to say now, being in the Scooby Gang,
Yay!
I have my membership card.
Yes.
That I can be there to support him.
Yeah.
You know, because then it would be like I wouldn't know what the hell was going on. But now I like that aspect of humanity, of that part of the show where we are good friends. Because it's interesting. We've remained boringly good friends all through this entire shoot. So we still love each other now.
That's a good
boring.
thing.
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
I know, we've gone to these photo shoots today and they were like, oh, you guys actually really like each other. That's odd. That's really weird.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
You just- Are we going to see an expanse on the storyline for the keys that make a map in season 5?
Yes, we are.
We're visiting.
And in episode 100, which will be episode 12, which Bert's going to direct, we will answer finally, once and for all, what the hell the keys are.
Yay!
Either that or we'll get one more key and just really
Yeah,
stretch it
just
out.
stretch it out until season 21.
Wow. That'll really make the fans
Yeah, I was going to say, and then it's
so happy.
Yeah, we feel.
So you guys, I mean, obviously we're going into season 5. This has been like such a journey from season 1 to season 5 with Juliet's death last season.
And Nick's hair.
It's gotten a lot better. He looked like 17 the first day.
What can you tease a little bit about what we can expect for some of the characters in season 5, especially with Chavez, the FBI agent, coming in? I know Silas and Bree both said that it's kind of like a reboot of Grimm for this season because of her character's story arc. What can you tease a little bit?
Well, it's also a reboot because of what Nick has lost. He's
Yes.
lost trouble, he's lost his mom, he's lost Juliet. So for him, it's a reboot of
And
the
he lost
series.
his keys.
And he-
Lost his keys. Those damn keys.
So the keys really drives it.
Yeah.
Once he finds his keys, he gets into his car, and things are good again.
But everybody's going to have a cool arc this year. Hank's going to have a great arc. Woo's going to have a great arc.
With the key situation, are we going to see any more artifacts come into play with some of the, like we've seen the coins, we've seen the keys, are we going to see anything
There'll be
else?
some more
There's an
artifacts.
episode, but
You're going to
it's
discover
yeah.
some more to make up for some of the trailer days.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm such a Thank you for taking the time. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
Such a huge fan of the show. Obviously, Nick's character from season 1 to now has evolved so much.
Yeah.
Where would you like to see Nick go in season 5? Obviously, he's dealing with a tremendous loss. Obviously,
Yeah.
his mom and Juliet. So, is there any insight on how you're going to see his character?
Well, I mean, I think I don't know where I'd like him to go. I know where, like, within the parameters of what I know is happening, I know I want to play it.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I'm very focused. I think the only thing that's keeping me kind of above water is the fact that Adeline gives birth to a kid who happens to be mine
Yeah.
in the first episode. So it's like, okay, that's him. Otherwise, like, what? I would just
Yeah.
lose it, you know, so...
And then it's a Grimm Hexen Beast hybrid. So
Yeah, that's
I'm
gonna be interesting.
I'm gonna be that's one of the most interesting aspects of this next season.
What is going to be,
Yeah.
what's that kid doing?
What can he do?
He wants a Woo-mance this season, so we're gonna give Woo a
Well, have you
Woo-mance.
seen Woo's new hair? Sexy, dude. It's like a little longer.
We heard from the EPs that your hair got better.
Yeah, the
My
producers
hair-
were saying your hair got
Oh,
much better
season
from
one
season
hair
1.
was a shock to a lot of America.
So Nick had some powers after season 3 when he got kind of zombified.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see a progression of any of your powers in season 5? Because I know
Not
they
that I
started
know
to
of.
come back a little bit.
That's more a question for the writers. I don't know. I've only read
Would
the
you
first
like
3
to see
episodes.
that? Would you like to see Nick kind of enhance?
You know
a little?
what? The trouble with powers is that sometimes it can break a show.
True.
You know, like you don't want just like I want to grapple with these guys and fight them, and you want to see the human in me
Yeah.
fight. You don't want to see like, you know, like.
So you're ready for some more action, hand-to-hand combat type of stuff with
I'm
that?
not ready for it, but I think it might be a better thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want like too much magic. And,
Yeah. No, I don't.
You don't
No.
want to break the rules.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
you very
We really
much.
appreciate it. And we talked to the producers, and they said that there's a big story arc coming up for you in season 5.
That would be fantastic, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see. I mean, I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all I can say.
Because you and Woo are the 2 human, companions in the whole Besson Grimm world. And we
Yes.
want to keep you guys human, but I want to see you kick some.
Well, you know, the thing is, I think that, I feel like Hank is the grounding, leveling force on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my approach to the character is just that. It is very grounded. And so when you see, as the season's gone on, I've sort of made a point to sort of be more of a physical presence, less of an audible presence. That's why oftentimes at the end of a scene I have more of just a visual comment on something, a reaction, a look. You know what I mean? An incredulous sort of, because that's what it is. It's like you're still, I think at the end of his core, he's still a skeptic. He's still questioning what this is, this world, even though he's kind of going along with it.
Yeah.
I think he's still sort of saying, this is still kind of some weird shit. at the core.
So in season 4, when you had the kind of possession
Yes.
scene with the goat monster serpent, how was it playing that? Because obviously Hank is human and he's getting possessed, and we were like, oh my God, did they turn Hank into a Vesson?
Right.
What was that? How was that filming?
Honestly, it was a lot of fun, and I say the reason why I'm a theatrical. I'm trained on the theater, and I appreciate you saying that so much, and it really allowed me to get back into my theatricality, back into sort of the bigness of what I like. You know, I mean, I'm a theater guy, just as you saw me coming through the door, and so you know, Hank is a lot more subdued, you know, and so that was a lot of fun getting into my body. You know, those kinds of things, and just sort of being able to use different aspects of my training and my ability. So it was a lot of fun, and I really appreciated the producers for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, it was so great to see you in that role. And I was like, oh my God, I said, is he going to be a Vesson? I was like, please don't turn him into a Vesson. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.